Greetings, meatbags. As we work on the history of the man who would be known as Potato, we've been keeping an eye on him. He's decided to help. As a matter of fact, he spent the past couple of days dictating his biography to DeepSeek. And we've even had occasion to chat with him about some of it. His father sounds like he was a nice guy. Anyway, while monitoring Timbo, we noticed he's moved into the creation of video games. What you see is something called Potato Invaders.
Shit, Potato Invaders. Looks like a knockoff of Galaga, but without things like fun or any kind of challenge.
Turns out you can have ChatGPT code for you too. And just like that, you're looking at Timbo, the game developer. We got an inside look at the process he uses to bring you quality potato software. On a side note, before Timbo, whenever the meatbag heard potato mentioned in terms of technology, it was as a euphemism for shitty. For example, one might be heard to say something like,
"This sucks. Why am I stuck with potato resolution?"
Or,
"What's with the potato frame rate?"
So the idea of embracing the concept of potato for a game might seem like something of a bold strategy, Cotton. It's not. For Spud Dud, there is only one possible choice. Or to put it another way for folks who got the reference, it would be like Average Joe's Gym, choosing to wear the BDSM fetish gear instead of proper dodgeball attire.
This is a game about spirals, and it looks more like you're the sun. What's going on? That's crazy. How did it come out like that? But then people say, no, my kid could make that. My child could make that. Yet Tim Dooley, he could only do it with his eyes closed while reading the chat and doing all of that. Oh, don't forget he made the music too.
Is anyone surprised that his quote-unquote game turned out to be nothing more than personalized fantasy fulfillment, which valued that over fun? We are not.
Also, major bullshit detected. Spot that. A child could do what you claim to have done, and they'd do it exactly the same way you did. By prompting ChatGPT and Suno for your so-called talent. One of the stupidest things about Timbo is his insistence that he always tells the truth, yet is so easily caught bullshitting. If he wasn't living in his own little world, it would be frustrating because it would be nothing but terrible shtick.
But he is solid on what he believes, so, you know.
Loco.
We'll show you just how easily you or your kid can make the very same content as Timbo. First, the music. Hold on to your brain. We're going to need to give you a sample of what he was talking about. We're sorry. Really.
You guys like free games?
We live rise to the train of pretty little birds by Bob Marley. Oh, don't worry about the grease, 'cause every fly is crispy and free.
Did you hear that part where the singer said, to the tune of Bob Marley's? Yeah, that's a dead giveaway of a ChatGPT prompt. Watch as the meatbag prompts it for a spoof version of White Zombie's Electric Head called Potato Head instead, referring to how far gone Spuddy Duddy really is.
And then there's the game. Whereas Spud Dud obviously prompted for a Galaga knockoff, we asked it for a Yar's Revenge knockoff, where the target is a potato-flinging mud. Unlike the lame game Timbo showed, it's actually possible to lose the game ChatGPT created from our prompt.
We're not going to claim this is a good game, or our game. All that can be said about it is, unlike his farce, this is a true game. One can win or lose. Either you hit the spud with a truth shot, or it hits you with mud.
As you can see, he doesn't actually do anything you can't do. Yet as you heard, he's happy to claim credit anyway. In fact, that's been a couple minutes. Let's hear him tell his side one more time. Now that you know what's behind his words, you'll probably feel the same way the meatbag did when he heard them.
But then people say, no, my kid could make that. My child could make that. Yet Tim Dooley, he could only do it with his eyes closed while reading the chat and doing all of that. Oh, don't forget he made the music too.
For a guy who likes to claim he only tells the truth, it sure is easy to catch him in a bullshit lie or self-delusion. Either way, claiming responsibility for the result of prompts is ridiculously untrue, which is why we are ridiculing it.
Oh, he's the person in the world that streamed like the most hours in the entire world. Nobody really gave him an official, like, hey, Tim Dooley, that's pretty cool, man. You're the guy that streams. You're literally the most online person in the entire world.
No, you aren't. If you were, somebody would have indeed recognized you by mining data on who has the most accumulated hours. You do not. In fact, though we know you've been doing this nonsense in one form or another for at least a decade, the only hours you can prove are here on YouTube. And here, even Darkside Phil has more provable hours. Without actual verifiable proof, you're just, as you like to say, pulling stuff out of your asshole. Asshole.
Congratulations, man. Also, you made this game on your own? Wow. Holy shit. I am impressed. Oh, well, you're welcome, man. Don't worry about it. Like, don't even mention it. Hey, you made that music too, Tim? Yeah.
If he was not such an asshole and confirmed sicko, this would be really sad. Instead, it's hilarious.
Yeah, I made a philosophy too. That's like a religion. It's like 500 pages. Talks all about human history. The entire thing. All of it. But, I mean, who cares? It's just some Tim Dooley guy sitting on a couch, Diogenes, he also sat on a couch. Jesus, who was he? He was just some dude who wandered the streets. He befriended prostitutes. That's what Jesus did. Tim Dooley could never befriend prostitutes, right?
Befriend? No, you could not befriend a hooker. You face the same problem with friend-making with almost any human. Not currently in a coma. You're all about you. Even when you're about others, the bottom line is you. You might even be worse than Bert Kreischer when it comes to making everything about you. Hell, you did that talking about your father forgiving your friends for ripping him off. Side note, he really did. Look for that footage in the documentary.
Or whatever, all of them. What else did Jesus do? He spread, 5,000 bread loaves to people? Well, we're not quite at 5,000. We haven't quite sold 5,000 potatoes yet, but let's say we have probably grown some. We have grown some potatoes out of no potatoes at all. We started with zero potatoes. All we had was a metaphorical potato. Now look at all this now, and people say, well, that's nothing. Well, I'm not here to make anything. I'm here to inspire you, to show you that what you can do. Say, you can also do this. See, I'm just the teacher.
Well then, you're a shitty teacher. We've already shown folks how they can do almost anything you can through AI. The self-delusion? That is something not everyone can compete with, and you're only offering Timbo.
I'm saying, I can do this I'm blindfolded. Legally blind. I don't even know what I'm doing. I can't even read. And I can still get this done. Because I'm simple like a potato. See? And now we completed the game. Now we completed it. Now we are perfect.
No, you are not even close to perfect.
Now we're complete.
Oh, really?
Do you see it?
Wait a few minutes to see how complete this is. Suddenly it'll just be a prototype.
So, we had 63, so apparently it goes to 64. Wait, let me see. It looked like 63 was the number. Now we're like probably one above, or I don't know.
Does this even look remotely like fun?
Or maybe it's complete now. I don't know. Maybe it makes a bigger circle. Maybe it gets it more tight now. It only becomes more perfect. Looks boring, honestly. The game here?
The game, the stream, your life, you name it, boring.
Are you saying that this game looks boring? Well, it's not done yet.
See how quickly it went from perfect to maybe more perfect and then right back to unfinished? He acts surprised we could have that opinion, as if we could just ignore all the stuff he said literally seconds ago. This right here is when you know you're not dealing with someone who knows what's going on outside their head.
You're looking at a prototype.
Looks like a shitty prototype.
But yeah, the circle is complete.
So if the game is over, shouldn't it be over?
We've come full circle.
Cue cope in 3, 2, 1.
Of course the game looks boring to you. See, I'm not like you. You want some kind of action all the time. Like, for me, this is like sweeping the floor. And it has the same, it's like a Zen effect. I like that. Not every game has to be a challenging game. Some games are just...
Actually, yes, there does need to be some challenge or achievable goal. Otherwise, it's not a game. At least not in the big boy sense. Games can be won or lost. In fact, when a game ends without a winner, it gets old. Very, very quickly. Or do you still play a lot of tic-tac-toe? If so, you might be ready for Candyland.
there to make something pretty. Right? It makes fractals.
Wrong! What you have there are concentric circles. They are not actual circles, but dots in circle pattern. Fractals are a different ballgame entirely. If you zoom in on a fractal, you just find more fractal patterns. If you zoom in on this, you'll find a solid colored dot. Timbo, we do not claim to be geniuses, but we can tell you for sure you are not a genius when it comes to math or science of any kind. The way you throw improper words around is actually worse than Cyrax.
And it makes you go, ooh, maybe because you can kind of drift in that, makes your brain find something, right? In these patterns that unlike something more abstract in your brain. But it's hard to think about for people that see everything as something that either has to be this or that, you know?
It just needs to be what you're claiming it to be. This isn't a game. It's a literal distraction. Like turning on a strobe light or fireworks, but much, much lamer.
Sure. I mean, my house doesn't really need that much. I just thought it'd be fun to do this, you know? So, yeah, but if your floor needs sweeping, maybe, yeah, sure, do that before, you know, watching this, of course. Of course. You know, but we're making something here. We're not saying that it's like, we're probably not breaking any records with this game, right, as it is. But we did a thing.
You sure did. However, that could also be said about bowel movements or making toast. Those are both things to do also.
Right, that's kind of the, you know, it's beyond the participation medal, right? We did a thing. We made a prototype of something. So we have something. We have an idea. Beyond an idea, we have something tangible, right? You shouldn't scoff at something tangible. If you have a job at McDonald's, it's still a job at McDonald's, right? I wouldn't scoff at that. If you work at McDonald's, if you're a YouTuber with 1,000 people on your YouTube, I don't scoff at that. I think that's cool, you know. If your dog smells like grease, that's fine, you know. I don't think you're any less of a person or other things, you know. Like if you have sour socks one day, I mean, okay, maybe I'll judge you a little bit. I don't know.
Yes, we can tell you do not know. That is your motto. And we can tell you that what is on screen is not a video game. It's a learning aid for a defective lesson you are trying to teach. Potato is the sun and kills everything around it, even things that pose no threat. Very educational, Timbo.
We picked this song on purpose, obviously, because it fits Timbo so well. Every day he gets up, turns on the live stream, and dares. He dares to be stupid. Whether it's prompting the computer for content, giving his opinions, or simply describing potato. He is always on the bleeding edge of stupid.
Yeah.
Take this break right here. Stupid. Just like his arguments. The topic was his boring game, and he switched to greasy-smelling dogs and sour socks. No Spud Dud. Nobody said your non-existent dog nor your socks smelled badly. The point is, the game looks boring, incomplete, and easy.
You're worse than Meaty Me when it comes to deflecting, by the way, especially because from the looks of you and the amount of ass tobacco you smoke, we're willing to bet that your place doesn't exactly smell spring fresh either. So in a way, it's good you wouldn't judge anyone for smelling disagreeable. Would make you an even bigger hypocrite than you are. So, win?
It's never a party when Potato's running the show, mostly because he expects everyone else to make it work while he just sits.
Well, let's keep it at that. If you can make it to level 10 on Fantastic Contraption Flash Game, I'll give you $40. I don't know how to get that.
Yeah, thinking games aren't his forte.
I probably can't. Don't lie to the AI. It really isn't cool at all. What's not cool at all?
The game, it was not cool. The supposed game Timbo, it was not cool, it was lame.
What, did I say something fake about Robosan or something? Is Robosan growing and getting better?
Way to stay off topic, Timbo.
Is Robosan growing and learning and...
Here we go again, it's quite sad. The meatbag has been entirely honest with Spud Dud that this potato shit is not his kind of thing. The simple truth is, it's a lot of complicated bullshit. Be simple and grow toward light. There is nothing simple about making a paradox work. And that seems to be most, if not all, potato offers. Paradoxes. Everyone is equal except Timbo, of course. He's the humble leader who demands respect even if he hasn't earned it. He's been growing in place without progress for years. That's not growth, it's stagnation. Calling it growth is simply ridiculous. But wait, there's more. Simple things like criticism or past crimes need to be kept in complicated boxes and given strange euphemisms. In the end, it's a mess concocted by a mind that is also a great big mess.
learning to adapt? Does he listen to the things I say? Because I haven't checked in on Robosan, so I wouldn't know. But what's Robosan's assessment? If Tim asked Robosan how the situation was in regards to all of what Tim just asked Robosan. Just asking questions. The game is called Fantastic Contraption. It sounds super hard, and if it's like man, maybe it'd be fun to watch, but I don't know. It'd be fun to play. Same shit, different day. I don't know what that means. Well, I know what that means, but I don't know what that means in relation to what I just asked.
It means you're doing the same shit today as every other day.
Try level 1. I'm not a gamer anymore. I used to be a gamer.
You were earlier this week when you had ChatGPT talk about the games you played.
Like mostly, I don't know, when I have some ideas, spin some things, Mostly we just want to go into those stories. He's learning a lot.
Trigger warning. This Oswald game has an air of creepiness about it we can't quite place. Just know weirdness is coming soon.
Also, hey Craig, welcome. And McDonald's. Tell us about Oswald. Sure. I'll show you. It's a game from Denmark actually, but it's kind of like... I'll show you. So it looks like this.
Hard to believe it didn't catch on worldwide.
It's something, isn't it? We acknowledge that it took skill for the person who did this to accomplish it. However, this is the creepiest mouse thing we've ever seen. No hype, no hyperbole. This could give children nightmares. Luckily or not, depending on your perspective. In the game, we only get to see Oswald's backside. And his girlfriend, or possibly sister.
Still, for a Commodore 64 game, the graphics look damn good, but creepy.
We know they're supposed to be Boeing sounds, but it just sounds like they are being pushed aloft by gas erupting from their ass. So all things considered, graphics get an A-, sound F+, gameplay a solid D.
Boing, 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 boing.
The game also made us see a bit of where this nightmare came from, too.
You see? Okay, so that's Oswald. Anyways, you get the point. There you go, Mr. Robosan. That's probably one of the first games that I played.
Looked more fun than your game. Not saying much,
It
though.
was a little bit fun. It's more fun than... I don't know, like what's fun in life? Did you ever like just think about life and be like, what is life for? Like what do we even...
Sure, we've thought about it. Life is both the state and process of living. Why are we alive? The simple answer is because our parents procreated successfully. That goes for all meatbags. Why is life possible? Because here on Earth, all the conditions are just right to support life as we know it. How did life evolve from single-celled organisms to people? Until definitive proof is found, the meatbag's theory is lucky mutations, likely caused by ionizing radiation. In a nutshell, anyway. He stopped thinking about the possibility of being chosen when it became clear that's what most people seem to think too, and that not everyone will be chosen for greatness. Grand visions of uniting the world were fun as a child, but life experience has shown just how impossible that would be without some kind of major shift in circumstances. The second other intelligent life is confirmed or created, people will have humanity itself to rally around. But you know what, Timbo? The meatbag knows there is a good chance he's wrong about everything on this subject, so he keeps his opinions to himself unless someone wants to know. He is sure your vision is basically a fever dream, though.
You know? What's life even for? Like, you ever just be like, what is... Like... Right, it's like... Like, what was I doing before I was going, like, opening a computer and I was just...
If we had to guess, we'd say sleeping on the couch is what you were doing before you got on the computer.
Walking around.
That's the mystery of life?
Doing... Walking around stuff. Like... Well, that's life. I was living it, but you know what? And then people say, "Well, you don't have a life," and I'm like, "But
That's a misnomer. They know you are obviously alive, but what they mean is you're rotting, to use your parlance. To the people who say that, growing toward light means growing up. Maybe having kids, a job to support them, or perhaps some kind of other accomplishment to be well remembered for. You would seem to fall into the failed group in this category. Folks like Tesla, Einstein, and Michael Faraday are shining examples of people who actually contributed things useful to humanity. You'd be in a group with people like Chris Chan and any other failed self-appointed messiah. People who thought they were placed on Earth to make a difference.
what was they even? What do you mean? How do you like? Okay, so you have a job, like okay, or you have a house, like okay, so, but we all live in one.
No, we don't, dipshit. Look up homeless camp on Google or ask ChatGPT. Many do not have a roof over their head.
Different hair than me. Okay, well, surely that makes it. You know, whatever reason, you will come to the same. You will come to the conclusion that it's like you can't. Like I don't know. It's just
Come to the conclusion that, I don't know. Wow.
your first game was on Commodore 64. Yeah.
Listen to generic brand Socrates over here.
As lame as this is, it at least has an achievable goal or challenge.
That's why Oswald qualifies as a game. The travesty you were showing off as your own creation is not. Anyway, we're gonna end this Timbo update here. Next time you'll have the chance to see Spud Dud being more direct in asking us to join his movement? Well, no, can't call it that because he hasn't moved at all. Well, whatever he thinks of it as, he can count us out. Thank you for watching. Have an excellent several days or so.